Hello, welcome to my brand new live stream show, How to Find Your Ideal Clients Online. Let's get going. Hi, I am Charlene Tessier, the founder of Strength and Numbers, and I'm helping you use strategic live streaming to find your ideal clients online, find your fans, and fill your programs. This is my brand new show, and it's very different than what I'm going to be doing, continue to be doing, or if you've already seen me, have been doing on my live streams. Generally, I keep my live streams pretty short and sweet. And I wanted to actually create a slightly different show, longer show, that will range anywhere from 30 minutes if it's just me to 45 minutes when I have guests. But I want to keep it on that really tight timeline so that those who are joining me in the morning on the West Coast can have their cup of coffee and be with me. And those on the East Coast can do it during their lunch break. And I love to respect people's time. So I'm always on time. So I will end today in 30 minutes. And next week, when I have some guests, it will be just a touch longer because I got to make some time for them too, right? It'll be 45 minutes. And if you remember last week or so, I created a short live stream where I had kind of disclosed a lot of the research I did around what makes a really amazing and interesting longer live stream show. And I didn't really want this to be a yawn fest, right? I wanted this to be not only interesting, but provide value with some fun and a way for you to get to know me a little bit better. And after much thought and seeing what everybody else is kind of doing out there, I decided to really focus my show on this one very specific topic, which is how to find your ideal clients online. And that is a very broad topic, to be honest. There are so many things that we're going to deep dive into. And that's one of the great things about me having a little bit of a longer show is that you'll notice in most of my live streams, I give you a very high level view. I'll give you five things that you can do, five strategies, but I can't really deep dive into them because it just takes a bit too long to do that in a very short live stream, like a 10-minute stream. So in this 30-minute one, we will be able to actually deep dive and do some action. So what I really am hoping that you'll be able to get from these is that I will share a little bit more about me, not only as an entrepreneur, but as me as a person in a holistic kind of way. That we're going to do some step-by-steps or tear down. So it's going to be me working through literally how I do a specific kind of thing. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'll get to that in a minute. And also I said I'm going to have some guests with some fun and some surprises thrown in there. Well, let's get started actually with what we are doing today. And I got my share. This is going to be a little bit different. I do have like a little kind of slide deck thing going on. So we'll bounce back and forth. And today we're going to learn how to become a copywriting master in 20 minutes a day. Let's actually just do this here. Come back to here. Here we go. So when you think of the word mastery, what kind of emotions, thoughts, ideas come to mind for you? For me, when I think of the word mastery, I think about a person who's spent their lifetime becoming an expert or very skilled at one kind of area in their life. I think of it as a long journey to get there, to become a master, and possibly even a difficult journey. And let me know in the comments what you feel it means to become a master at something. These days, I feel that a lot of people don't really want to become a master at anything. It's something that we kind of avoid and even don't really embrace. Like someone who's really spent a long time becoming a master at something is a person I think that should really be embraced. And they have all this knowledge and expertise by being a master at one single thing. But that isn't really what many of us want. Many of us want essentially the quick solution, right? Especially when we think about coming in, we're thinking about how much time it takes. We don't want to spend all of that time. We also have this kind of sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out, where, oh, if we spend all our time mastering this, then we will miss out on other really great opportunities. Another reason that we maybe think that we don't want to take the time to master something is because we feel that it's just going to take too long, right? We have this big to-do list. I have to become good at accounting for my business. I have to be good at sales. I have to be good at marketing. I have to be good at now copywriting, at making videos and making content. I have all these things I have to be good at. I don't have time to master one. So I'm just going to try to shortcut it. And copywriting is, I feel, something that you need to spend time to master. And when we often start our journey into copywriting, and I did this as well, and maybe you have as well, is that you try to shortcut it. You try to find templates and formulas, quick tips and hacks, because you pretty much need to get your copy out yesterday for your launch, for your upcoming sale, for your whatever, and you don't have the time to master the skill. And I am in this live stream, I'm going to essentially try to sell you on the case of why you should actually spend a bit more time to work on mastering the skill of copywriting, and why this is so very important. Now, to understand what it takes to master a skill, we often forget about this as adults, right? As children, we are innately already doing this. We have so many things to learn and master as children. We have to first learn how to go from sitting to crawling to walking, even before that, rolling. So there's that, just that takes so much time to get, to master. And as children, we don't think about that anymore, right? And then we have to learn how to read, how to write, how to draw, how to find motor skills, and all of this takes quite a bit of time as a child. But as soon as we kind of get into adulthood, we very, very quickly forget how much effort it takes to become a master into anything. And so this is why I'm going to take you on a little journey. And what we're going to do is we're going to master just a little skill together, so that we can begin to really experience what it is to kind of feel like to learn a skill. And what we're going to learn how to do is how to social dance, how to dance swing dance, essentially. And I chose this particular genre of dance because many people have probably at least tried swing dancing or have tried salsa dancing. I myself dance swing and Argentine tango. And I find if you really want to be humbled about learning a skill and reminded of what it takes to master something, learn how to dance. Okay, this is why I essentially chose this. And the first thing you do before you even begin to learn how to dance is you have to think about your reason as to why you want to do it. There has to be some strong driving force behind it. It's not just you just wake up one morning and you decide to do it. Right? You may want to learn how to dance because you hate going to the gym and it's a fun way for you to get exercise and to just keep fit, right? Keep your body fit. Maybe you want to dance because at work you don't really have a lot of friends. Maybe you spend most of your time at home in your home office by yourself. So it's a great way to be social and to meet people and to make some friends. The third way maybe is that you feel that you don't have a good connection to your body, and you want to have more confidence in your body, and dancing can help bring that to you. And the most common reason most people, I believe, learn social dancing is to meet a partner, right? To find girlfriend, boyfriend, potential husband or wife, right? That's one of the main reasons. It's a very strong driving force, and we're going to learn a little bit more why that is such a strong driving force. So what is the next thing you do once you've got your driving force to begin to learn how to dance? Is you go and take some lessons. You get into class, you find a partner, you practice dancing, and after several lessons you actually start to feel pretty good. You feel like, hey, I can do this, I can go along to the music, this isn't so bad, I'm progressing pretty well here. And your instructor really recommends that it's great to do it in the lesson, but you got to do it in the social dance. And at a social dance, that's where you have all levels of dancers, from very beginners to advanced. And you, of course, don't have an instructor. It's not all kind of uh, crafted in a way to make it easy. It's essentially they put on the music and you find a partner and you got to dance. So you got to do it trial by fire. So you decide, okay, I'm going to do it. I am going to go to the social and I am going to upload my skill. I'm doing good in class. I can do this. So you go to the social and already you're intimidated. You see really amazing dancers doing crazy things and you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness. Good thing I brought my friend from class who's the same level as me so that we can try and fumble through this. And the two of you decide, okay, let's pick a fairly slow song. You wait for it. Okay, this song, let's do this one. And you go at it. And it's a total disaster. You're crashing into each other. You're trying to watch out for other people because they're going all over the place. You're freaking out. You're sweating like crazy, of course. And you just can't wait for this song to end. It's over. You get off the floor with your friend. Both of you are like, whew, we did it. That's it for me. I'm going home. I've had enough of this. And that is usually how it goes in your first time. Now, what's happened here is you now have two choices, right? This trial by fire, this social dance was intense, really intense. And people will do one of two things. They'll either just quit saying, this isn't for me. I don't want to continue this. This is too hard. It's too much work. Never going to be able to figure this out. It's going to just take too long. I think I'm just going to try some dating apps. That'll be easier. Or you're going to double down. That's right. You're going to double down and you're going to really work on it now. You are not only just going to go to the lesson, you decided every morning you're going to wake up and you're going to do your basic step to the bathroom and back every day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week. You are not only going to go to the lesson, but you're going to keep going to that social dance once a week and you're going to dance one song no matter how hard it is. And by doubling down, things start to change for you. And over time, you start to see some changes. Now, when you learn to dance, it's not like today, let's go here. Today, I don't know how to dance, and tomorrow I do, right? It's not just one and then the other. It is a very slow, subtle progression. And the moment you realize it is when you go to a social dance and you dance with a complete stranger to a song, and at the very end, you say to yourself, that was fun. I would like to do that again. And it's in that very moment that you realize you are on your way to start mastering a skill, right? What you have done so far is actually built the foundation. And now with a very strong foundation, you can begin to master the skill of dancing. And I'm going to share with you today how we're going to start building the foundation of mastering the skill of copywriting. And to become a master, there's a few things that you need. You need to do daily practice. Just like you had to get up in the morning and do your step, all the way to the bathroom for 5 minutes and back, daily practice is needed. Second thing you're going to need is some form of public accountability, or I call it trial by fire. You got to eventually write it and hit that publish button. Make that video, hit that publish button. Go live like me. This is trial by fire. And it's the only way to really start to master a skill. You can practice all you want, but if you don't go public and start to get, number 3, the direct feedback loop going, you're going to have a really hard time to master the skill. But once you get that feedback loop coming back to you, you're going to start to become better and faster because your daily practice will get better, of course. You're going to keep going and it's just circles around. And that's exactly how we learn any skill and master any kind of skill. I am actually reading this book right now. It's called Cashvertising. And it is touted as this really amazing so it's a copywriting book, but it isn't what you think in terms of a copywriting book. It has no templates. It doesn't have any formulas. It has no quick tips, I would say, and it definitely has no easy hacks. So why? Why should I even bother to read this book? Well, what it does do for you is it helps you understand why people do what they do. It helps you understand why people understand people's decision-making process. And it helps you understand why people buy. And it's essentially a psychology book about the innate behaviors of why people behave the way they do and act the way they do and behave the way they do and buy the way they do. And knowing that is a foundation for being able to write really good copy. But like I said, there isn't any templates or formulas. And so how do I apply the knowledge from this book? And I'm not going to be able to apply all of the 100 secrets here today. That is way too much. But what we are going to do is I want to give you bang for your buck. And it's in the first chapter. First chapter, if you can start to apply the skills, which I'm going to give you a step-by-step how I do it right now, break it down, you are going to automatically start seeing changes in your copy, in your conversions, in whatever you do for copywriting, whether it be subject lines, whether it be, hooks. Now, there's a little warning about this book. Like I said, there is 100 tips or actually the psychology of how 100 kind of ways you can apply copywriting. And by chapter 4, it was super overwhelming. My mind was literally exploding. And so I would say this book is more of a book that you keep it on your desk and you do the first chapter, you read the first chapter and you try to do it. And then you read the second chapter and you try to do it. There's just so much information that you can go through the whole thing. And I did go through the whole thing, but to be honest, after chapter 4, it was all pretty much just this hazy blur. And I just kind of got this, 10,000, 100,000 foot view of, okay, I could do all this. Wow, how am I going to do all this, right? And so I'm here to show you how we're going to do all of this. First thing is, and this is in the very first chapter, and the most important bang for your buck. If you do this, you will start to see some really amazing conversion rates. Life Force 8, or it's also Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which many of us have already heard of and know. And so I'll just go through them super quick because we're going to just apply these skills right now. First one, survival, enjoyment of life. Enjoyment of life and life extension. Second, enjoyment of food and beverages. Third, freedom from fear, pain, and danger. Fourth, sexual companionship. And that, just so you know, tied into why should you do dancing? That's essentially one of the Life Force 8s. Comfortable living conditions. That's number 5. 6, to be superior, winning, and keeping up with the Joneses. 7, care and protection of loved ones. And 8, social approval. So let's get into the first little exercise. Now, in the book, there's this a really great example of how he talks about this publishing house was publishing these books. And what they wanted to do was just, of course, sell more books. And they realized they could just change the titles of the books. The entire inside of the book was exactly the same. And so what they did was they published the book with the original title. They would see how much revenue it would make. And then they would change the titles, applying one of these Life Force 8's principles into the title, and see if they could, of course, get more sales. All right, so we're going to take a look at the old one, at the new one, and which Life Force 8 principle was applied to it. And this is a really great way to kind of get that mind going, and it really solidified the concept for me in a very real way. The book title was called, the old title, 10 O'Clock, and sold for, they made revenue of about $2,000. The new title was What art should mean to you? $9,000. And the life force that it affected was life force 8 social approval. So essentially wanting to be, with your friends and be able to talk about art and not feel left out and feel like the idiot in the room, right? That's a very strong, convincing reason. Convincing title. Now the old title, Fleece of Gold, and this should be pretty easy. The new one, Quest for a Blonde Mistress. I think many of us can figure this one out without even really thinking too much about it. And that's sexual companionship, number 4. And if you look at the revenue jump, amazing, from 5,000 at Fleece of Gold, 10 times more, 50,000 was with the new title. Old title, Art of Controversy. New title, How to Argue Logically. So this is, again, Art of Controversy, How to Argue Logically. Very, very similar, but look, Art of Controversy, no sales. Argue Logically, 30,000. Life force affected, number 6, superiority, right? Being able to argue better than your neighbor, keeping up with the Joneses, winning. Old, Casanova and his lovers. And I put this one in because they're actually quite similar, and it's very interesting how just a small tweak can change it just quite a bit. And that was $8,000. And with the new title, Casanova, History's Greatest Lover, 22,000. And the title is very, very similar, but you can see the difference there between Casanova and his lovers and Casanova, History's Greatest Lover. And that is number 4 again, sexual companionship. Sorry, my little thing's blocking it there. So now we've kind of got the brain working. Now, how do I do this? Use this for my hooks. And I've spoken about this time and time again. Hooks are super important. Your content is, of course, important, but if you can't get people to stop, that's on the first line. Even if you do video, if you don't have a hook that's going to make people stop, then they're not going to even consume your content. So your first step when you're creating any kind of content is put 80% of the time into your hook. Yes, you got to write the rest, of course, and it should be fairly good, but the hook is the most important. And we're going to do this right now. Bang for your buck. We're going to get you some hooks that are going to really start converting and getting people to stop. So what I do is, when I'm ready, I usually actually write out the body of the content all first. I write the hook last, just so you know. I'm not going to get into how I do the content, but I write out the content first, and then I do the hook last. And then I set a timer, and I write a hook for 3 minutes, and I write 10 hooks as fast as possible. I don't think about these Life Force 8s or anything. I just bang out 10 or more hooks. They can be terrible. What's a hook? For my hook is 1 sentence. So I'm banging about 10 different sentences here. And like I said, 3 minutes, I set a timer. Then after I've done my hooks, and I'll come up with some, let me actually go through, let's go through all the steps, and then I'll go through a little quick example with you. Then after I have my list of hooks, I choose one hook that I think will work quite well. You kind of, when you read them, you kind of feel like, yeah, one of these could work. And you look at also the Life Force 8 and you try to match one. Now, you'll notice sometimes there's kind of this overlapping, that it could be Life Force 3 and Life Force 8, but one will be stronger. So don't try to blend. Blend is a bit more advanced. For now, for this exercise, just choose one, okay? Choose one Life Force that you really want to try to implement into your hook. And then what you're going to do is, from that one that you've chosen, you're going to rewrite that one only, right? So you're going to discard the first 9 and focus on getting that one really good, right? And you're going to riff on that one for 3 minutes. And when you're riffing on that one for 3 minutes, you're going to keep in mind the Life Force 8, okay? That is the most important, the one that you have chosen. Then I always write down, even if it's not relevant to anybody else, I write it down at the end which Life Force 8 I ended up using, or which one I had. So it's kind of there. So when I go back, it's in my notes. And I kind of look at the old and the new together. And this is, something that we can kind of do and work through together. So I'm going to write 10 hooks. I've already written 10 actually. And it's around creating content essentially. So these are the 10 I came up in 3 minutes. Okay, these are rather terrible. I'm not going to lie, right? So here we go. First one, how to create a content matrix. Create this social media calendar in 30 minutes. brainstorm a month's worth of content in 30 minutes. How to generate 50 plus ideas in under 30 minutes. How to generate 50 plus ideas. Create a year's worth of content. How to rapidly generate ideas for social media or social content. What to talk about when you don't know what to talk about with your audience. How to generate ideas fast, right? So that's what I had generated in about 3 minutes time, and they were all rather terrible. Now, the Life Force 8 that I'm going to use on this one is number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses, right? Because what you want to kind of do is essentially create content faster, better than everybody else. That's essentially the nature of this particular one. Let me move this here back to here. So here we go. So what could be some variants on this one is, let's see. So keeping up with the Joneses. I didn't actually write the Life Force 8 down. I'm going to just do it off the top of my head. Is keeping up with the Joneses. Okay. I like the one actually. What to talk about when you don't know your audience. Should I do that one? No, actually, let's do how to rapidly generate ideas for social. That's a pretty generic one. Okay, we'll do that one. So of all the ones I read through, I'm going to only riff on how to rapidly generate ideas for social content, right? Keeping up with the Joneses. So you're going to, let's see here. Be superior. Okay. Outpace your competition by generating 50 ideas in 30 minutes. Generate more ideas for content for your audience in under an hour. So I always kind of go with a very specific time and kind of also how you're going to do it, because I'm trying to imply that I'm going to be able to show you how to do it quicker, faster, better than somebody else, right? So let me see. Yeah, generate 50 plus ideas in under 30 minutes. Actually, let's say this, not just generate ideas, but generate 50 plus ideas that your audience can't wait to consume, something like that. So that's so I'm essentially riffing on that as much as I can to try to do that. Then the next step, like I said, was let me see here. I think that was the last step, wasn't it? Yes, and so then I would write down the Life Force 8. And just to let you know that this is really fun to do. It's really great to do this with a group of people. So it's a bit hard because I'm a bit by myself. But normally how I would do this is we would all do the exercise and generate, doesn't matter what your own content title is, they're hooks anyways. You would generate 10 ideas. You would pick one. And in the room, everybody would actually help you to write hooks for it for 3 minutes, and they would pick the Life Force 8 they think appropriate. They don't have to pick, you don't have to disclose that. It's actually more interesting because you'll see people using different kind of Life Force 8s and how they actually spin it. And then that helps to generate all these really amazing hooks and get you really cranking through. Now, if you want to do this together with me, and I would love to have you do this together with me in real time, I would love to put together a little workshop in my private community. It's free. It's a very safe space to be. And if you actually have questions about this presentation, I invite you to come to my community and put your questions there so that you have a safe place to share, or put some comments and questions down below. And I'm very happy to share that with you. But this is essentially my process for how I do hooks. And as you see, I don't take very much time to do them. It's 3 minutes and 3 minutes. And then I actually do one more step, which is the secondary wants, which is a little bit of a bonus. We are coming down to the last minute, so I want to be quick on this. So on top of the 8, there are actually these 9 secondary wants, and they are essentially the next level. So once you've written the hook with the 8 Life Force 8, I write for another 3 minutes, trying to use 2 or 3 of these secondary wants and work them through it. Like I said, it's really fun to do this in a group of like 3 to 5 people. We can really practice some really great hooks and get you some really great hooks for your upcoming content. And it allows you to start to become a master, and we begin to start our path of being like a little Yoda, you know, uh, getting people to engage with us, listen with us, and be with us. And so I really do hope that this tear down that I did for you today helps you to start on your journey to copywriting. I am sort of embarking on this journey, and I will be sharing a lot of things like this right at 30 minutes. And so till next time, I will see you then. I'll put my community down below. And next week, we have some fun guests. See you then.